Excuse me. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but that's fine with me. What's up, everybody? This is Coburn C, Capshaw, with yet another Let's Talk Media LLC podcast. Thank you for tuning into the show, or as I like to call it, a show. And I know it's been a while since I've done some social media work, so that's why I'm doing this podcast. And with me here again is yet my amazing, wonderful, totally cool, down-to-earth brother from another mother cousin, Ethan. What's a cool, fake fighter's nickname we can call you? The Snake. I like it. Ethan, the Snake Capshaw. Yeah, because you're like a viper. I don't know. I've got problems. Anyway, no, just excited.
Snake.
I'm just excited to see you again, man. It's been a minute, right? Shoot.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, how many months?
It's probably been
3, 4.
No. Maybe a month and a half.
Right. Well, glad to have you back on the show. You and we've got about 7 topics here to talk about, and I think you're a really smart guy. So I'm just waiting to hear your insights on what we have to talk about. So
what we got today?
Well, the first question, or what we were going to talk about, is that I remember it was a question that you wanted to ask me, and you were asking me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Where did you? Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Where did you get your idea for your business? How'd you decide how to run that?
So, it's actually interesting. So, the reason I call it Let's Talk Media LLC is because, yes, it is my business is a marketing and advertising business. But as you know, I'm also a MMA/movement coach on the side as well. So, the reason I call it Let's Talk is because it's not just about marketing and advertising. It's about just talking. About business, about everyday life. Anyone can come to me who wants to come to me if they want to talk to me if they're having a problem or an issue or anything, right? Hence why, I also run it by doing those positive food for thought posts, and then, my advice videos, and I know movie and video game reviews, those are reviews, but if you've noticed, I kind of turn those into a positive turnaround as well, and talk about things with advice, from the lessons I learned from the video game, and I turn that into a way of how you can turn those into life lessons as well and give advice in that aspect. So no, I'm not a life coach, because I don't have that license, but I would call myself, I guess you could say, an advice coach. I think we talked about that a while ago, but the I got the idea from just thinking about, okay, what's a nice clever business name? What's something that will make me stand out? And what is something that will help get the audience know what I'm trying to do and help sell my product and my services? Well, if you think about it, the advice videos, posting my workout videos, showing people, if I can do it, so can they. I try to be a positive social media influencer, on that aspect of business. So, Let's Talk it's to me, it's more than just a business. To me, it's who I am, and to me, it's just a way of helping people out however they need it. Yes, I'm a business development manager for my company, but that it goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So Let's Talk in a way is me, and I am my business, and yeah, just trying to be that positive guy. Yes, there are other businesses that have been called Let's Talk, and I've seen other businesses name that. But the reason I don't know, it's not that I'm copying the other names or whatever, because, with my attorney, I did get the copyrights for my name and my LLC for it, obviously. I just like how it sounds. It rolls off the tongue. It's real easy to say. People say, what business do you run? Oh, my business is called Let's Talk Media LLC. Oh yeah, it's easy to remember. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly that it's hard to say what I'm saying. It's just more of, yes, it's a business, but I want people to feel like it has a personality. It's not just marketing and advertising thing, hence why I do other things besides just, I advertise myself in the ways of like everything that I just said, but it's beyond advertising. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, like here's here's what I can do, here's what I can offer to show you how to do. It's just stuff like that, just
right.
It's
a one-on-one thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's more valuable.
Exactly. Because you have a lot of these business owners who only care about the business sides of things. They don't really care about getting in touch with their customers or clients. They don't personally want to get to know them. They only care about that paycheck. And I want to be that friendly guy that's like, hey, if you need to talk to me, you can talk to me. It doesn't have to be about business. If you're having a rough day, like I said, like I'm an open book. You know what I'm saying? So like I wanted to get to know the people that I work with or I interact with. Things like that, because I care about my business, but them a little more. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have they been mostly from St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
I know online you can meet anyone.
Oh yeah.
So, TV. So second, or do you want
to? Oh, I mean, yeah. No, I'm not talking about that. So yeah, I'm good. So
business side of it.
Let me see. So we're going to talk about TV shows and good ones that we really like a lot. So my wife and I, we watch Modern Family. Love that. It's hilarious. Everyone's such an amazing actor. Like we were talking about earlier, what I'm extremely impressed with is the fact that when Lily was little, how well she could remember lines and how good she was acting, even when she was little, before she got big. And then Gloria and Jay's son Joe, how well he can do the same thing even for his age, remember lines and act as well as it does. And that kid's got to probably be like, 5? It's insane, Shoot, I think we talked about this a while ago. I love Mindhunter. I love crime dramas.
Mindhunter, that was scary. That was the last year at Christmas.
Yeah.
The guy was blowing the guy's head off.
He blew it. Yeah. I watched after that, I watched every season. Yeah.
I have not. You showed me the worst one, and I just.
No, it was the very beginning. But you know what's crazy though is that that's the only real graphic thing that you see in that show is the dude.
Oh, okay, so.
I mean, there's still some pretty messed up stuff in there. Don't get me wrong, but it's like not as whoa was like that very first scene.
How many seasons of Modern Family have there been?
Oh my gosh, I think the show's been around
15, 10,
something like that. There's a lot. You want me to look it up?
No. The dad is really old.
Oh yeah, well, think about that's Ed ONeill. Remember the guy from Married with Children?
Yeah.
He played Al Bundy. Remember that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was in a lot of stuff. Actually, funny thing about Ed ONeill. Did you know that he was really close friends with Bruce Lee?
Didn't they do?
And also, he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I watched the documentary, or one of the documentaries on Bruce Lee, and I saw Ed ONeill in there, and I paused. I was like, hey, that's the guy from Married with Children. And I don't know if he was on Modern Family when the documentary happened, but it's so interesting. I'm like, whoa. I mean, there were a lot of celebrities on that documentary, don't get me wrong, but it's so interesting to see him on there,
Mm-hmm.
I think Ed ONeill's his name. I think that's the actor. Wait, yeah. So, like, what are some, like, I mean, Shameless is a good show. The Ranch is a good show. There's so, like, should we just say how good the shows are? Or do you want to go into more, like, detail about, like,
I mean, I guess, lately, what have you been watching?
Lately? I love the show, Evil Lives Here. Yeah, like, it's just crazy. Like,
is that on FX?
It's on YouTube TV.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a part of an investigation.
Houses?
No, Investigation Discovery Channel. No, it's about family members who end up being crazy and being murderers or just doing crazy stuff, or cousins, yeah, that's a really good show. Uh, I like the acting in it, but they only do like snippets of it. Another good show that's just like that is called Your Worst Nightmare. I think that's what it's called. But the reason that show is so good is because they pretty much you can hear the people talking about the show in the background.
Mm-hmm.
The actors in it and actresses, they act out like all the scenes, like so you get to see like everything. And I think like maybe in some ways Your Worst Nightmare is a little bit better because it gets more in depth like that, as opposed to just seeing the actors do snippets of like acting like in Evil Lives Here. Because in Evil Lives Here, the camera's more focused on the person just talking about what's going on, as opposed to where Your Worst Nightmare is focused more on the acting part with their voice in the background speaking about what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I've been watching Fargo.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Is that okay?
It's based on the movie.
I was going to
Fargo.
say the movie with what's his name? Ben Affleck, right? Batfleck.
The guy, I don't know his name.
Yeah, the original movie had Fargo. That was, I think, that's Ben Affleck, right?
Yes, I've been watching the show based on the movie.
And
It's really good.
isn't Chris Rock in that?
Yeah, he's in the 4th season.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that he's done serious acting before, and apparently he's more than just a comedian. Like from what I've heard, he can do some serious acting.
Yeah, it's 4 seasons.
That's crazy. 4.
They're all in. It's Minnesota.
Yeah.
They all have this weird Minnesota accent.
Hmm.
And it's a different version of what the movie is. And I'd say Well, I looked on Reddit, and most people think that season 2 and 3 are the best,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1, and then 4. And I'm on 4 now, and it's no knock on Chris Rock, but 4 is not the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but they're all good. Season 2 has a moment that blows my mind. So.
What happened? I mean,
I can't.
you don't
I'm
want
not
to
gonna
spoil it? Yeah.
Yeah. But really, there's a point in season 2 where I just stopped and, it shook me.
Shook you to your core?
Yeah, I was like, this is a really good, just a moment in film history, Netflix history. But yeah, also been watching Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched like 3 seasons straight.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
There's just those shows like you can't like not stop watching. You're like, ah.
Yeah, and they're short, so I just went through.
Yeah.
3 seasons.
Oh my gosh. You know what's? I'm not gonna lie. It's very vulgar, very messed up, but absolutely hilarious, but completely out the show is Paradise PD. Dude, you need. Trust me. Like,
What is that on?
It's on Netflix. It is the funniest. I am telling you. Oh my god. Like, no joke. Funniest show I've seen in a long time. Like, the humor is very like, oh my goodness. Like, let's put it this way. I can't talk about it. Okay. like the stuff that you see in that show, man. No, I'm serious. Like, man, I wish I could. I'm trying to keep things clean as much as I can.
Huh.
No, but Paradise
PD.
Watch it. You will seriously be laughing. Like some of the stuff in that show is like. Let me put it this way: a lot of it makes you laugh to where you almost want to cry because of how funny it is. But then the other reason it happens is because you're sitting there like, what did I just watch? Like it shocks you so much, like it makes you laugh. Like those times where. You're laughing so hard because you're shocked at what you saw. You're like, what did I just see? Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. Paradise PD. You need to watch that show. Shoot. What's a couple of other good shows? Okay, no. Speaking of horror movies, so I got a question for you, and I don't know if I can. Honestly, we've done so many podcasts together. I can't remember. If we might have talked about movies before, but or this question we're about to ask you, but what are some like good movies that like you could watch over and over again and never get bored. Find it always like awesome no matter what. Even if you know exactly what's going to happen next, which you will, or something like that's so funny that you could watch it over and over again and you'll still laugh at like those parts that are supposed to be funny every time. A good action movie, something.
Probably, I think Taken is like that for me.
Yeah.
Shutter Island.
Uh-huh. That was a horror movie.
Like
right?
Star Wars movies, Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've actually said that before on this podcast.
No, yeah, that's right. I do remember that now.
Just probably Talladega Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I would just keep coming back to, because a lot of these movies, I can't watch. Some of these movies are really good, but they're too heavy. I'm not gonna watch Saving Private Ryan.
Oh no!
Like
that movie was
3 times in a row.
Yeah, no. Or you know what? And honestly, speaking of which, like, you thought that movie was graphic. A movie I think might be a little bit more graphic. And I remember when I saw this, I was young, so I saw some messed up stuff. Black Hawk Down. That movie is so graphic, dude. Right. Oh my goodness! There was a scene where you literally see one military guy dragging his friend up, across, by his arms, and his legs are blown off, and you see everything coming out of his butt, his bottom of his stomach. It's
right.
Oh.
I'll add to that Forrest Gump.
It's a good but sad movie.
Life of Pi. Have you seen that?
No. This was that Indian actor, right?
Yeah.
Who ended up being on that movie where he gets millionaire, and then was it the same actor who was also in the Life of Pi with the tiger and the boat?
Yeah, he blew up. He's on everything. He's on a lot of stuff now.
He wasn't. He didn't play the live action version of
that soccer movie.
Aladdin, did he? No.
Probably.
No, I feel like it was someone else.
That was really random. Let's see.
For me, real quick, I don't know what it is. Speaking of Indian actors and actresses and directors, M. Night Shyamalan, he makes great movies, but I don't know what it is, but his Unbreakable series movies, dude, today I'm still compelled. When you watch those movies, it makes you think, what if, there are people out there with, real superhero powers like that, but it's, more from, a realistic, natural aspect. But then if you remember, when Stan Lee, when he was alive, rest in peace, remember he had that TV show, Stanley's Superheroes, and those people actually looked at that, had, I wouldn't necessarily say powers, but they could do some weird stuff. Do you remember watching that show?
I haven't seen it. I think I might have to watch that now.
You've never seen Unbreakable, Split, or
Split I have. That was scary.
How did he not get an Oscar for being all those different personalities?
He was nominated for a bunch of stuff on that.
You sure?
Yeah, he didn't win. I don't know if he won, but he was nominated for a ton for Split.
What's his name again? The actor's name.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
I have no idea.
Yeah, he was on Wanted. He was in a lot of movies.
He's really good. He had 9 different. How many personalities? 9?
Yeah, or something like that. It's Patricia. Oh man. Hold on, I'm gonna look him up really quick. I'm sorry, I have to. I just want to see. Yes. Of Split. James McAvoy, that's right. I mean, that dude's an amazing actor. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him in a lot in other movies, but in that movie, he just shines. I don't know how he. Yeah, it's insane how good he is. But it was Unbreakable, Split, and then the third one is
Pickle Rick. Season 3.
Pickle Rick. Wasn't this called Mr. Glass? No, hold on. Hold that paper for me. Unbreakable. Yeah, Glass. Okay, the third one was Glass. Yeah, yeah. Such a good movies. But yeah, no. So like those are movies I could watch over and over again and just rewatch them and just be like, dang, they were just that good. And like,
that was a good list.
Oh yeah. Okay, so speaking of resting in peace, let's go on to our third subject. Oh man, let's see. We got about 23 minutes left, and we got 7 things to talk about. All right. So, without giving, saying too much, trying to keep a clean channel here, and not to disrespect or anything at all by any means, rest in peace to the great and legendary DMX. I think they said he was 56, something like that.
He was 50.
50?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Very sad.
Yeah, man. Hip hop and rap definitely lost a legend. Today, or not today. Well, when it happened, but you know what I mean. They definitely lost a legend. So to all the rappers out there, to the hip hop people out there, anyone in the music industry or business or rap business, if that's the right word to say. My condolences goes out to everybody out there who is in the same music genre as DMX was. You feel the same way?
Yeah, very sad. I came out of nowhere. Can't believe it. I mean, growing up, he was almost like the background music in rap for me, And then there's Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. He's still around.
These other guys, Eminem, but in the background, DMX is like almost like a godlike rap figure with his music.
Yeah, he had his own
where you figured, oh, he's good. He was on
different
table level.
He was on just like Freddie Mercury, just like Michael Jackson. Like they were beyond their time, even for like how late, not really late, but like the time back then, of how revolutionary like DMX was, of how he was just like them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
it's just hard to put it into words.
Right. He went at a young age, but you know what though? The thing that I can say is at least we were blessed with his talent when he was around. You know what I'm saying? That's a good takeaway from it. Is at least we were blessed with his music, with who he was. One thing I really liked a lot about him is that if you didn't notice, when he would post stuff, it'd be him talking about God. And have you noticed that? Like he'll talk about God and putting the good word out there and being all faith and stuff. And this is a guy. We're talking about a guy who rapped about like hardcore stuff, and I think he was just going to show of like, hey, in reality, I'm a God-fearing man, and I'm trying to be positive, and the only reason I curse and talk about the stuff I talk about in my music is because that's the business side of things. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, he was very religious.
Yeah, extremely religious. Yeah. All right, so let's go into our fourth subject. Again, sad to see him go soon. So soon. I can't even speak. It's been a long day for me, man. Oh yeah, so how to have a real personality versus what's on camera. So I think this is a pretty interesting subject to talk about, in my opinion, because I have to do both. And it's not hard to switch off. And also, I don't want to be that person who thinks, oh, I'm all this and that just because I run a social media platform or like multiple platforms and channels, you know. I don't want to I don't want people to look at me or interact with me or think of me as somebody who's only just about being a social media influencer or being on camera, or like, you know, because those, you know, I don't want to be conceited. You know what I'm talking about? Like, as like a jerk, you know, like, oh, you know, like, oh, like, I don't. It's hard to explain, but it's like,
you can't curse on this channel, right?
I prefer not to. But, okay, here's a good example. So, like, I mean, I work out a lot, right? But it's like those gym people who only go to the gym and that's all they care about, and that's their personality, you know? Like, and some people might think that they're a jerk because, like, that's what they care about, that's their only agenda, maybe they're not very interactive, maybe they, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or anyone who's, like, too obsessed with something, or, okay, I'm not trying to be mean, but those annoying people, like, I don't want to say anyone's famous names, not to disrespect them, but those people who you can tell think, oh my god, I'm on TV, I'm so famous, I'm better than you, I'm better than everyone else, you know, blah 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 blah, I never have to lift a finger, you know, to do anything, and then, you know, and that's just their whole personality, on and off camera, and then, you know, let's be honest, they're famous, but a lot of people don't like people who act like that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I would ever allow myself to turn into one of those people because, well, I'm not famous. And honestly, I'm okay with that because, like, the reason I'm okay with it is because I appreciate anyone who listens in all of the first place in general. And, you know, even if, let's say this, what I'm doing really does actually take off, I'm still going to be me. I cannot let me being on camera influence my personality of who I am as Kobe, or even as my, you know, my social media name, you know, Mr. Smiles a lot, you know. Okay, good example. So Mr. Smiles a lot is another way of how it ties into when you ask me, like, how did I come up with Let's Talk Media? Well, think about it, like, me trying to be a positive guy. I was like, what's a good positive social media name? Mr. Smiles a lot. Oh, there we go. And I thought that worked well, and it's been working well with me so far. So I feel like as if my personality and my social media name goes along with my business. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, I think, you know, even though that I use my social media name, I like my videos and my food for thought stuff, I'm all, in a way, even though I'm promoting my business, in a way, I'm also showing people that I'm just beyond what they're seeing in the pictures. I'm beyond what they're seeing on video. Do you get what I mean? That's why I try to be as honest as I am with who I am on my videos and stuff, so people can be like, oh, he's not fake. He's not fake behind camera, and he's not fake when he's off camera. Does that make any sense? So, like, and I've like, I don't think I've ever really, no, actually, I don't know if I've ever really met anyone who can't switch that off, but I've definitely met just rude people in general who couldn't switch off being a jerk to people, or just couldn't switch off like a bad part of their personality. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you've ever run it? I'm pretty sure you've run into people like that before too, right? I mean,
I guess you see people switch it on and off, right? Between,
yeah, I mean,
how they act at home and what
yeah,
they show.
Right.
A lot of people, I hope that that's just what they show and not how they actually are.
Right.
But in terms of that, I try to be as transparent as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, you don't really have to switch it on and off at all, because,
right,
I mean, depending, you know, on the topic that you're talking about, you just, I don't know, I mean,
right.
depending on your audience, what they want to hear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're trying to steer them in some way.
Right. And yeah, speaking of steering, like when I do this stuff, I'm trying to steer people. Pardon me, excuse me, hold on. A little gassy there. In the right direction, you know, being a positive influence, you know, like, yeah, like, I do feel bad for people who can't switch off, you know, not being in that, like, limelight on camera, like, presence all the time, you know? Because, like, they might think, oh, I'm all this, but I, in my opinion, I feel like that's a sad existence. You know, like, whenever I go off and do my security job, you know, like, I don't act like some social media guy. I don't act like I'm, you know, marketing guy, this and that. You know, when I'm on duty, I'm on duty. But when I'm at home doing my marketing stuff, then I'm Mr. Business Guy again. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. This, trying to attain this figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see. Subject number 5, and we have 13 minutes and 35 seconds left to talk on the recording. So hopefully we can get all 7 subjects, but if not, that's cool. So let's see. Oh yeah, so there's man, I haven't really read any good books, but what I like to do is I like to get on my app on my phone called Hooked. And Hooked is stories. Like, there's actually books with different categories and stuff, except what you do is that you can either press it and they come in like text messages, so you can read it, or sometimes it'll have it towards audio, and you'll actually be able to like listen to the people read it, but personality behind it. So whenever the like girl that says a girl screams, she'll go, "Ah, Daniel, where are you?" You know, if it's like a horror book or story. But you were talking about Sapiens?
Yeah, I did read Sapiens.
So what's that all about?
It is oh man, I don't want to go crazy about it, but it breaks down in a very vivid and cemented almost in history in a way. It breaks down humanity and kind of from the beginning of time too, so in a pretty practical, matter-of-fact way. And the guy's got a British accent too, so it kind of is pretty. I read it on Audibles. I listened to it.
Yeah.
I didn't actually read it, but it's really good. And
So,
on Audibles you get like 1 free book a month.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I can't remember if I get charged every month for Hooked or if it was a one-time payment, but all the books and stuff I read are free on there too. It's pretty awesome, actually. Oh, you know what the cool part about Hooked is that, like, if you're reading a book or whatever, you can, even if you close the app, you can go back to it as late as you want, and it'll pick right back up from where you read. I'm not even kidding.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know if Audible does that, but like
It does.
I haven't been on my Hooked app in a long time. Guarantee you, if I got on there right now, it would like literally pick up from the last horror book story I was reading. Can't remember what it was, but it was really good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was based on. You know what? I should start reading more books again, because the thing is, like, as you know, like, not like business books. I'm kind of done reading those because, you know, my goodness, I've read so many of those. But I'm trying to remember the exact scientific facts behind like what reading does for your neurons in your brain. I think it does something, helps with your cognitive something. I'd have to look it up again. Next podcast that we do, what I think we should do, in my opinion, is that we should like go on Google and look up factual stuff, or like, you know, and then talk about that, and then feed off of each other, and like, you know, because I'll do that in my solo podcast. I'll just like think of a random thing to look up, and then I'll get on Google, and then I'll talk about it, and like, you know, say the source and all that. So, you know, I'm actually factual in what I'm saying, you know. So just that, because I'm not trying to be all like, hey, look at me, I know everything, you know. But obviously I don't. So does this book talk about like evolution and revolution,
really,
and like
evolution, some
Yeah. Growth and, like, anatomy and whatnot. Like,
A to Z, civilization to now, and it offered some advice at the end. So he ended, the book ends at present day,
mm-hmm.
and he talks about modern day issues, matter of factly, of humans, and kind of talks about happiness, because he's trying to say how to attain it, and it struck a chord with me. So
yeah.
I mean, it's, in a way, it is kind of a self-help book, because it breaks down everything, and at the end shows you what matters, kind of.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Subject number 6. Okay, so let's see. I think we got some time. You know, I think if I'm correct, even after this shuts off, after it's done, I think even if I hit re-record, I think I can edit it to where I can splice the recording together.
Part 2.
Right, but okay, so
What are we at, 4?
well, that was number 5. There's 6, and then there's 7. But I'm thinking, though, if you want to, we could just wrap it up with one more. So, number 6 is, we could talk about how we both keep ourselves healthy during COVID-19. Or number 7, which is what you wanted to talk about, diffusion of responsibility, a.k.a. Bystander effect. Yeah, maybe? What do you think?
What would you rather talk about?
Well, honestly, I feel like bystander effect sounds really interesting. Now, can I make a guess about what that means? They don't do anything. There's something scary or crazy going on, and they just stand there where everybody else is taking an action or running the heck away. And here's why. They're in shock. They are scared, crudless. They don't know what to do. Like, that's...
The bystander effect? Yeah.
Fight or flight. It's your amygdala and your brain that fires off those neurons.
I'm just a bystander, and
is that? I mean, was my guess pretty?
Yeah, that's what happens, kind of emotionally.
Yeah.
The bystander effect.
Yeah.
It's basically, the more people there are, the more you're. That's why we're going to talk about diffusion of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people around you, the more the responsibility is diffused to those other people, and so you care less if you see something crazy going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the bystander effect is.
Okay, so let's...
You're shocked, obviously, too. You're talking about the emotional side, yeah.
Yeah. So this sounds like you're not trying to be selfish, but you kind of are. So I get what you mean. So let's say that let's say there's a concert, and some crazy guy just starts swinging on people, just punching them in the face left or right, just knocking them out, just bah, 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 right? And everyone starts to run and scatter. Well, you get scared, but you think, okay, well, there's so many people here, I could just go the other way or run around with these people and not have a chance of getting hit. I don't care about these other people getting hit. All I care about is getting home. Okay, yeah, you do feel kind of bad, but it's just like, what am I even, it's like, every security officer says to me, my supervisors and bosses said to me, I was like, look, this job's important, but what's more important is you going home. Which means not getting shot, which means not getting killed on the job, anything like that, obviously. So, like, and like, I know for a fact that I love my job, what I do, but most important thing to me, as much as I love everyone I work with and the stores that I work at and everything like that, most important thing to me is getting home to my wife. So, do I feel bad for saying that? Yes. But is that my diffusion of responsibility? Maybe, maybe not, because I want to get home. But also, if something crazy went down, I know for a fact that I would protect everyone. I would get everyone out of there as quickly as I could. I would handle the situation as best as I could. Even if that means I might end up getting hurt. It's my job to do what I have to do, right? So, how do I put it this way? I would care about protecting the other people. Of course, obviously it's my job. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'll be thinking, I need to get home too. So, is that making any sense to what you're saying? Like,
yeah.
Not real. Like, how?
Emotionally, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Emotionally.
Emotionally?
Yeah, and emotionally.
Right. Like, does that make me sound bad? I mean, because
it makes you human.
Yeah, like.
Bad and good.
Yeah, bad and good. Like, it's good that I want to protect other people, but maybe in a way, my diffusion of responsibility or bias is the fact that I'm thinking, okay, like, I want to protect these people, but I also need to get home to my wife. And I know that doesn't mean I would let other people get hurt or harmed, but, like, let's say that I'm running at the threat. I know that there might be, I don't want to say, there might be some casualties. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if there are, then, well, obviously, that would not be fun for anybody. But what matters is that I stop what's happening right then and there. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, you get what I'm saying without me saying too much. Like, especially with what's been going on in the news. The one security officer getting, in the face on the Metrolink, and then remember. Was it West County or South County Mall? Remember that? Did you hear about that?
I think so.
Yeah, a guy dressed up pretending to be a cop and walked in and started blasting away. Like, oh my god.
It's scary.
Yeah, so.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't go out in public.
Much, yeah, I know, right?
I don't go to the Galleria.
Yeah, no. Well, I live right down the street from it. You don't see me ever going there.
Isn't that funny that nowadays we don't have to go out in public?
Yeah. I mean, well,
strange.
Well, besides COVID, I mean, it's, I'm a nice guy, I'm a social guy, but I'm also going to be safe, obviously. I'm not going to go out of my way to, do stupid things. You get what I mean. Alright, so, got anything else to talk about, or are you good, man? Like, wrap it up?
I guess we could.
Yeah? I mean, like I said, we've got about a minute 55 left, so maybe
Are you thinking, I was going to ask you about your green screen.
Yeah.
Can you do 3D images on there?
You know what? I might be able to.
Why don't we do that for the next podcast?
That'd be kind of cool. Maybe, like, make it a video. Oh, if you want to make it a video podcast, we would have to do that in order to do that, and we could have...
Or you don't have to... You could have, like... Well, we could be in it, but...
Or whatever.
You also, like, make the green screen. I'm talking about, like, cool images and maybe...
Yeah.
Things that, like, vibrate when we talk. Like
that would be pretty interesting if I could find a picture
could,
or a way to do that.
Like, in video play for, like...
Yeah.
And then...
Alright. Well... Okay, everybody. Thank you to all of you who tuned in and are listening. This has been Coburn C. Capshaw / at Mr. Smiles a Lot, and Ethan the Snake. Haha, I'm calling you the Snake now. Capshaw. If you need a market advertiser in St. Louis, if you need an MMA, boxing, martial arts movement coach in St. Louis, let me know. Thank you all. Love you all, and I will see you guys next time.